So hi guys and welcome back to another video of my team career mode 2.0, and obviously we have another event. But before that, if you haven't watched last video, go and check it out, because honestly, two stop craziness happened in that race. At the end there was a big pile up. We were able to get so many points, well, so many positions through that. And let's just go. We have Yuki Tsunoda, who has decided to grace us with an advanced talks. Let's just see what happens now. He wants to 74 engineering workforce, 4th vehicle performance, and an annual salary of 6.89. So one podium finish is what we have to achieve to agree, well, to which he will agree to stay in the team, which we obviously have done. And Fernando Alonso is retiring out of this season. What? No way, guys. No way. Fernando Alonso is out. But here we are, obviously, guys. Driver standings. Charles Leclerc has leaped past Lando Norris, obviously, and we are in P10 because we have not scored any points after Spa. So let's just go into the upgrades, and we have an engine power upgrade. Let's just give it to Blakely because we will give it to Crawford afterwards. Let's go into the development, but before that, let's go into the, well, we are going into the development. What am I saying? But that doesn't matter right now. Let's just see powertrain, guys. We have one slot left. Let's just go for the ignition system, because honestly we have one which we have already given to our driver. Let's just go and do the second one, and I am not upgrading anything in durability. So in the research departments, we have 1213 resource points. Let's just see what we can do here. And 900 resource points for that. Chassis also, we do not have much money for that, but yeah, I was thinking about it, and we have bought the tire wear because after last race, guys, that was on my mind. And look at that, guys, 2 out of the 3 upgrades I have done are already delayed. So we get delayed in this, and we have end game talks with Gabriel Bortoleto. So that is going to be interesting. Let's see what Bortoleto has to say for us, well, say to us, and obviously end game talks with us. Let's see what his demands are, and can we get this? And it is 230 engineering and performance clause status removed, annual salary request reduced by 5%, chance of success increased by 10%. That is good. And team performance clause is none, because obviously we have done what he wanted. So obviously this is the first end game talks we have gone, and Gabriel Bortoleto is happy with that, and I think that means we might be able to sign Gabriel Bortoleto. And Jack Doohan also wants to do an end game talk. You know what, I really want to go for Yuki, that's why I'm going to stay him there. And obviously, guys, as I was saying, that we get delayed in the research, and then we get problem in the development where they fail. So we have had really difficult season, and we have finally a rear wing upgrade which we have given to Crawford, and Halo is finally done, guys. And let's just buy last of the Halo there. And front wing gurney flap, did I not already did that? But looks like I didn't. Let's just buy it. And honestly, I think I might have to buy an development opening for it. And controversial product, and obviously this was from the last race, that has given us much more fan rating. That is honestly big, guys. So I think everything is more or less done here. So let's just go into the Singapore GP, and let's drive as Lucas Blakely.
As night falls in Singapore, the track starts to warm up, and it'll be red hot by the time we find out who's on pole for tomorrow's race. Time to set the grid then. Welcome along to qualifying here in Singapore.
So here we are on to the first lap in the Singapore GP. Let's see what we can do. Obviously, if we can get any point here, we should be, but honestly Singapore is much like Azerbaijan, so it might be difficult. But honestly guys, in Azerbaijan I went and did something idiotic. I went way too low on the rear wing. That was my mistake. But here the rear wing is 50, because honestly guys, the whole race will be a wet affair. That's why I am doing, and look at that, even in the qualifying the rain has appeared while I am doing my first lap. That is not really annoying for us, because honestly that is good. Race to the line, that means we are safely through Q2, because look at that, no one else, well, many of these guys did not do a lap early enough, and that means guys, even Jack Crawford, well, me, both of our teammates are in, and look at that, Charles Leclerc is out, Carlos Sainz is also out, and look at that, the rain has gone to straight up wets. Not even inters, it has gone to wets. But obviously guys, I am not like that. I am going on to inters. Let's just go on to the inters. But as you saw, it was 2.5 minutes remaining, and as soon as I went into on the racing track, look at that, what happened. Yes, we weren't even able to get ourselves out to do a lap here guys. Honestly, I was so gutted, it annoyed me so much. But guys, honestly, it is a rainy track, it will be very difficult to do something in this race, but I know guys, we can do something here. Obviously we should have been into Q3, but it doesn't matter guys. Let's just go into the race.
Marina Bay hosted a Grand Prix that briefly ran in the 60s and 70s, but the Garden City re-entered the calendar for good in 2008. We missed it for a couple of years, but it was great to come back to the Singapore Grand Prix. And here's our track, 4.94 kilometers long, and overtaking chances into the first corner, into turn 14 at the end of the Esplanade, and now into turn 16 in the newly reprofiled sector that we first ran on in 2023. Still though, it's punishing and tough on the brakes, and the heat and humidity will take an effect on our drivers. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lando Norris will lead us away from pole position, and Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Hamilton, Yuki Tsunoda and Antonelli, Albon, Ocon, Doohan and Ollie Behrman, Verstappen, Bortoletto, Fernando Alonso and Crawford, Lawson, Blakely, Charles Leclerc and Nico Hülkenberg, Hadjar, Gasly, Sainz and Lance Stroll brings the grid to a close. And now it's time to head down to the track. And alongside me for this afternoon's commentary, Naomi Schiff. Good afternoon, Gnomes. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Well, the race is certainly not won in the first lap, let alone turn one. However, what you can do is prepare yourself ahead of time. Visualize what could potentially happen, different scenarios and where you could place your car. And that will better prepare you to make the right decision with instinctive timing.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down.
So here we are in the race, guys. Wets to wets is the strategy, but obviously the rain looks like will get very lower. So guys, I am well doing the tire pressure as high as I can, because honestly I really want those tire pressure high, because I do not want to lose the tire wear, and it will be a wets to inters race. So here we are with 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are go for the Singapore GP in total wets, with Lando Norris in P1, Piastri P2, and there is George Russell, Hamilton fighting with each other, with Yuki Tsunoda going 3 wide there, Antonelli, Albon going side by side, and finally it's 2 wide between these guys, and here we are 2 in P11 already. Let's see that again, and here is Jack Crawford in front of us, and we just went in front through the middle of him and Alonso, and look at that, how big of a gap it was, and we, after braking, were able to overtake 3-4 cars there. And look at that, guys, Behrman And look at that, guys. Hamilton and Russell still fighting with each other, and we are going side by side with Jack Doohan. That is big for us, and going around the outside and through the inside of Oliver Bearman. And let me show you this, and we broke and had no place to go, and that's why I had to let Bearman stay in front and had to cut the corner a little bit so that we do not collect Bearman, but through the inside into the braking Constantino effect. We have already overtaken Oliver Bearman there. Can we go and overtake his teammate Esteban Ocon? And through the inside we have overtaken Esteban Ocon too, but he will try to go side by side with us. But look at that, guys, we have enough of our pace to stay in front. We just needed to be just a little bit more courageous than other drivers, and we were a lot courageous. And because obviously there is a little difficulty to overtake in wets, that's why, guys, at the end of lap 1 we are already 4 seconds behind other drivers. Because, guys, other than the fact we have an MGU edge, too much wear on that is also the fact that I have not done any laps in the wets in Singapore, and even after 50 rear wing and almost 50 front wing, we do not even have the pace to do anything here. But, guys, that doesn't matter to us. We are great at defending. That's why I thought P8 is the game for us. We can get P8 here. So here we are, guys, keeping ourselves busy and not let Ocon and Bearman overtake us, so that we can stay in front. And here we are, lap 3. Look at that, guys, and so much wheel spin and so much, and we have a yellow flag. Wait, we have a yellow flag and we have a VSC. And what was that for? I really want to know. Let's just see. And it is Fernando Alonso, Jack Doohan and other people going side by side with them. And let's see, both the Haas, and that is Alonso. I think that was Jack Doohan just spinning on the curb a little bit and going into Alonso. That means Alonso has lost both his front wing and plates. I do not know how that happened, but he has lost both his front wing and plate, and you have to clean that debris off the racing line in this wet condition. That's why I think that happened. But honestly, guys, right now for us is to stay in front. And I think you saw we have Max Verstappen and we have Charles Leclerc behind us, because Max Verstappen obviously took a penalty. But that is amazing, guys. That is amazing. Let's see.
It's gonna be wet for a while, be careful. Okay, full wet seems to be the fastest tyre for now.
So on lap 4 is still about to stay full wets, and we on lap 6 again decided to know.
It's going to be with us for a while now. Inters and wets will probably have very similar pace at the moment.
So at the end of lap 6, guys, I just heard there is light rain, and inters and wets are almost at the same crossover period. And I thought at the end of lap 7, let's just go into the pits, guys, because why not take the risk? Because honestly I thought that if I get onto inters and these guys will also follow in a lap or two, and we will get a big undercut on these guys. But we will see what we can do after that. So into the pits, 2.5 is the estimated time, and it's actually 2.4. Pit stop, and Fernando Alonso, who had to go on a set of inters, set of wets, is very fast. He had to pit again with the front wing damage he had, and we have again crossed the white line. But it doesn't matter, guys, we can still stay in front of these guys. So 6 seconds behind Fernando Alonso, 21 seconds behind these guys, and on lap 12, guys, these guys have also come in. So they came in after 5 laps of me pitting on the inters. But that means, guys, we have, look at that, how much time we have gained on these guys, and it was again 149.8, again almost a best time for us. But I was also catching up to the top 8. That's how fast I was on these inters. But the problem is, guys, look at that, we already have 22% wear on these tires, and these guys do not even have that. So now the question arises, do we pit again or do we not? But for now, let's just keep on going. On lap 13 we had a green flag, and still a green flag. What's happening, guys? I do not know, but let's just keep on going. There must have been something, and it is Jack Crawford, our teammate. Our teammate is out of the race, and we have a VSC again for it. And let's see, it was obviously in the Singapore Sling, or the place which is known as Singapore Sling. But here is Jack Crawford, our teammate. Look at that, he's trying to give places to other drivers to let them go. But honestly, that is big. That is big. That is going to cost us fan rating, guys, because obviously there is no points we are getting from him. But honestly, at this point, guys, I should have paid, but I didn't. And we look at that, going out of bounds of the track, but that doesn't matter. We now in green flag, learning, trying to stay in front of Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc, because after us letting the train go, these guys were the one who were leading the train. And here we are, look at that, going side by side with Max Verstappen into the inside, pushing him a little bit wide onto the wet part of the track. And inters aren't really that good in too much wet, but obviously, guys, I am also going on to the wet part of the track so that we can cool these tires and not get too much wear on it, so that we can keep them as long as we can. And here is Lando Norris, 145. That's how amazing he's 4 seconds faster than my fastest time. And Max Verstappen, sorry, that is Lewis Hamilton, who has just done the fastest lap again. So that is crazy, guys. And here we are just defending against Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc. Obviously it has not been easy, because I have to push 100% against both of these guys, otherwise look at that, they get so much close to us. And here is Charles Leclerc again trying to overtake us, but we push him. But Charles Leclerc get amazing exit onto the curb, but we obviously push him wide a little bit, so that his exit into turn 3 is not good. And we have taken it easily, P8 again. And honestly, we are 47 seconds behind the top 7. Well, at least behind Albon there, because all of the other drivers are in front. So lap 19, guys, these tires are honestly done, and I needed to pit because obviously the rain is going to get less and less, and these tires, even if I do not pit, these tires will not go the distance if the rain lessens. So that's why I thought, you know what, let's just go into the pits, let's just see what we can do. And here we are into the pits. Let's just go on to another set of inters, optimal turn in. But guys, one of the problem this causes us is that we have been lapped down. Look at that, and that is a McLaren who has overtaken us, and that must be Lando Norris in front, and we have another McLaren coming behind us. So that might cost us some time, but we are 20 seconds behind Lance Stroll, and I think we can catch up the 20 seconds in around 7 to 8 laps, because new inters are very fast than those old ones. And look at that, the tires are still cold, and I am trying to let Oscar Piastri by there, guys, but it's getting very difficult. And look at that, I had to brake a lot earlier. Only then Piastri was able to lap ourselves, but that doesn't matter, guys, because lap 25, this is getting annoying, and because we have another car behind us.
Intermediates, and the time last lap 1:47.7. Their tyres are 12 laps old. The car ahead has some minor front wing damage, but it's currently maintaining its pace. You're closing in by 3 seconds a lap.
Look at that, guys, I am closing up in cleaner air where I am not interrupted by anyone. And look at that, the tire wear is also going crazy. We are catching up to Jack Doohan by 3 seconds and other driver by around 2 seconds. But the problem is this, guys, look at that, we are getting lapped by Yuki Tsunoda, and we have another driver behind us, and that is a Mercedes, I think of George Russell. And let's see, yeah, it is George Russell. And we have another Mercedes behind that of Antonelli, who is coming up very quickly, and he on lap 25 comes up behind us, and this has cost us, guys, I think around 6-7 seconds, even more than that, because I had to let these guys through by not pushing or by braking even. So that is getting difficult. Obviously then you have to run behind them for a longer time of period, and that is cost us the tire wear for us. And now on lap 28, even Alexander Albon has lapped us, and our tire wear is 62%, because guys, the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped around 3 laps ago, and we now have DRS enabled, but everyone is so stubborn, which I mean they are allowed to be, because there is no way. And obviously you are not doing anything by going on to a set of, well, new tires. But it doesn't matter, guys. Here is Lando Norris, who wins the Singapore GP by 3 seconds, with Oscar Piastri behind him into P2. 1-2 for the McLaren. And here is Hamilton coming in, finishing up the podium. And obviously his ultimate rival of Lando Norris is stuck in P8. Charles Leclerc is not really having the best race of the season. He's having the worst race of this season for him. And here we are, look at that, guys, 89% tire wear. It doesn't matter, almost completely. I'm just surprised these tires went the distance and did not give up on me and did not get a puncture. That is big, guys.
This is a result that's going to really matter for them. A good haul of points today, and it's consistency across the board that's going to keep them in this title battle.
It's time to bring out the bubbly and spray it around. It's our podium celebrations. He holds the trophy aloft, and why shouldn't he? A richly deserved win today for Lando Norris.
And obviously Lando Norris won, guys, but we just had the worst race again. And honestly, I think this is a trend for us. Either we get P3, P4 or anything big points, or either we finish in last. That's the trend I think we have going for, because before Spa we had Austria, but even before, between them, it was Great Britain or Silverstone, which we DNF. But this is the trend, guys. We either score big points or we, let's say, just go straight up down the dumps. And this time it was both of us who went down the dumps, and fan bonus lost. That is annoying. Honestly, can't really say we didn't deserve it, because honestly, guys, as you see, both of us got P21 and P22, and you do not want to see that with any driver. So guys, if you are enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys for the next one.